It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning. Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News on this, the 31st day of July, 2022. Coming to you on location in Ocho, Rios, Jamaica. Actually, I'm not in Ocho, Rios, Jamaica. I'm sitting here looking at Ocho, Rios, Jamaica, because it's raining cats and dogs out there. And so I just decided I'd park here in a nice little quiet corner, which it was earlier, and do the show from here today, folks. However, unbeknownst to me, the crew is in the middle of an emergency drill. So you're going to hear beeping in the background. You might hear announcements. You might hear them telling you to get off the ship and get to the emergency boats. It's a drill, folks. Don't panic. So anyway, it was going to be a nice little quiet corner for me to do the show today. It didn't happen that way, but that's okay. So this is the cruise life, folks. All right, travel and cruise industry news on location from Ocho Rios on board the MSC Seashore. And today, folks, is National Brandy Alexander Day. Now, I hate to admit this, but I've never actually had a Brandy Alexander. Now, since I have a drinks package, maybe today's the day. How about celebrating with me? And you guys go out and get a Brandy Alexander today, too. And I'll share a clip on Facebook and YouTube about a Brandy Alexander sometime today. All right, we got some cruise ships sailing from North American ports today. Up in Bayonne, you got Anthem of the Seas getting underway. Down in Charleston, Carnival Sunshine sails. Port Canaveral, Independence of the Seas, Disney Dream, and Carnival Elation. Down in Fort Lauderdale, Port Everglades, Celebrity Millenium, Regal Princess. In Miami, Freedom of the Seas that I just got off of a few days ago. Sails today, Disney Magic, Carnival Conquest, and Tampa, Brilliance of the Seas. I'll be on that, of course, next year for the group cruise over in Greece. Galveston, Adventure of the Seas. I'll be on her in April. Oh, there's an announcement. And, oh, it's a longer beat, too. There'll be an announcement following it, I would think. Here it comes.
Attention all crew, the drill is over. The drill has finished.
Yay!
This announcement concludes our drilling for this morning. Any further announcement, any further alarm would be in case of an actual emergency. Thank you for your understanding. Safety is our #1 priority. Enjoy your day, Jamaica.
Okay, so their drill is now over, so maybe we won't get any more beeping and things. That would be nice. Let's see, where was it? Carnival Breeze sails from Galveston out in Long Beach in Los Angeles. The Carnival Radiance gets underway. San Pedro, Los Angeles, Navigator of the Seas. I'll be on her in April. And San Francisco, the Ruby Princess sails today. All right, we got some headlines too, which I'll get to in a bit, folks. Wind and cold cause several ships to alter itineraries. Labadee, Haiti finally has a first cruise ship visit. Virgin Voyages new terminal about to open. More news from the whole Crystal Genting debacle. Carnival Mardi Gras to the rescue. Well, sort of. And a warning for our UK friends that are passport holders to something you probably need to be aware of if you have not traveled yet and are about to start. And of course, a whole bunch more live this morning at 11 o'clock. On a personal note, and this is kind of an announcement, folks, I am now booked on the inaugural voyage of the MSC Seascape, which will be sailing from Miami December 11th to the Eastern Caribbean for 8 nights. If you'd like to, join me for that one. It'll be the first time I will actually be on an inaugural voyage, which will be kind of cool. Chance to get out and take a look at the ship from stem to stern. But that's on December 11th. My cruise calendar on accessadventure.net has been updated. So you can always check on that and join me on any cruise you'd like to. I'd love to have you. Also, dinner tonight is the best of specialty dining at the Butcher's Cut Steakhouse. There'll be lots more on that this evening, I promise you. And that has nothing to do with travel or cruising, but how many of you had Joe Burrows and Matthew Stafford as the Super Bowl starting quarterbacks when the season started this year? Man, I bet the odds on that were huge in Vegas. All right, if you're listening to this broadcast via the podcast, and you're always if you want to look for my podcast, you can always find access to it on my accessible blog. That's accessadventure.net. It's also available wherever you're used to getting your podcasts, like TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Podchaser, Pandora, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Just search for travel and cruise industry news, and you'll get the old fat travel guy. Now, as usual, folks, I will be posting pictures and clips of my cruises. So if you are listening to the podcast, you might want to always jump over and check the link that's down in the description to take a look at the video side of things so you can check out pictures and clips and so forth. So how about a slight little break here for a little entertainment from the Seashore bar last night, and that's going to take you right up to a pause for a message from one of our network sponsors. All right, back after our commercial break. Time to get to the news for the day, folks. I've been reporting, of course, on cold weather since I got to Miami on the 24th. We had 2 brutal days there. Then we had a couple days that was nice. Then I got back into Miami and switched boats. Spent a day in Miami, and it got colder, and it's been cold. It's a little bit better today, although it's rainy and crappy out. Well, I thought the rain was going to let up, and now it's moved back in and pretty heavy rain again. But I'm not the only one that's been talking about cold weather out there. Strong winds affected several cruise ship calls to the Bahamas this weekend, so much so that Mariner of the Seas was forced to cancel its call in Nassau. The Disney Dream needed assistance from tugboats to get to the pier. Winds were sustained at more than 30 miles an hour with gusts up to 46 miles an hour. Royal Caribbean meteorologist James Van Fleet reports that heavy winds as well at Royal Caribbean International's perfect day at Coco Cay forced Harmony of the Sea to wipe that out completely, totally canceled it. The strong northeasterly storm stretched from Cuba to the eastern part of Canada. And I can tell you, sailing from Miami around Cuba, even though we were on the south side of Cuba, it was still pretty rough. Not as rough as it was the first, bit out of Miami. That was pretty tough. But it was rough this morning, right up until we really got close into Jamaica. So yeah, sketchy weather, man, has affected this whole part of the world. By the way, before Harmony of the Seas lost their perfect day at Coco Cay, she stopped at Labadee, Haiti. Labadee closed in March of 2020 because of the pandemic and remained closed after the trouble seen in Haiti the last 6 months. Last week, the port welcomed the first 2,896 passengers it had seen since March of 2020 on the Harmony of the Seas. Virgin Voyages' new cruise terminal at Port Miami will open next month as construction on the project moves to its final stages. Virgin's Terminal V will open. I wonder if that's Terminal V or Terminal 5. I mean, Virgin Voyages, I guess it's Terminal V. But anyway, it's going to officially open on February the 13th, just in time for the Valentine's Day cruise on the Scarlet Lady. The terminal was first announced in late 2018. Construction began in December of 2020. Virgin Voyages, of course, is the newest cruise line to sail from Port Miami. The adults-only cruise line is offering a different experience from what you would find on other cruise lines. As Crystal Cruises continues to dismantle operations for the moment following the collapse of Genting, Hong Kong, guests aboard Crystal Serenity have been informed that the ship will no longer be calling on Aruba as planned, but will instead be debarking in Bimini in the Bahamas. From that resort island in the Bahamas, guests will be ferried to Fort Lauderdale, and assistance will be offered for further travel plans for guests to return home. The Crystal Cruises team, both onboard Crystal Serenity as well as the onshore guest services and administrative personnel, tried to resolve the situation so guests could debark as planned. It's uncertain what will happen to Crystal Serenity and the other Crystal cruise ships. Crystal Symphony, which has already debarked all guests, and Crystal Endeavor, which is currently sailing in Antarctica. Several river cruise ships are also part of the Crystal fleet, and their fates are also undecided. Rumors are beginning to circulate about all kinds of things of this ship being sold and somebody taking over the whole company. We don't know anything about that yet, folks. So whatever the rumors are floating out there, don't believe them until we hear something definite. So, Carnival Cruise Line Mardi Gras was involved with a rescue at sea last week when she came across a small fishing boat with refugees from Cuba. The small motorboat underway from Cuba to the Mexican mainland had run out of fuel and supplies. Now, unlike when we've seen rescues like this in the past, Mardi Gras did not take the refugees on board, but instead supplied them with enough fuel and supplies to make it to their final destination. Although ships are, by law, required to help those in need at sea, there's no need to take people on board. In this case, the supplies will have ensured their immediate safety, although the inherited risk of sailing small boat across the Gulf of Mexico and in the Caribbean were pretty clear. I'm a little bit surprised at that one, and then I guess because of the health and safety protocols, you wouldn't want to bring folks back on board. That's a tough situation now. But anyway, they gave them gas and fuel and some packing. All right, UK travelers heading anywhere in the EU and countries within the Schengen travel area, remember to check the validity of your passports. Since the UK exited the EU, the rules regarding validity of passports has changed, and quite a few people have been caught out and turned away at airport gates, etc. as a result. It used to be that when you got a new passport, any time remaining on the old passport would be added to the new one, so your new passport could be valid for up to a maximum of 10 years and 9 months. This has changed. So when the end date of your passport may be more than 10 years later than the date of issue, it won't necessarily be valid for travel. You need to check the date of issue, and the expiring date is effectively 10 years from that date. Additionally, many countries state that you must have at least 6 months remaining on your passport after your return date. So effectively, your passport may only have validity for 9 years and 6 months. What I'm saying, folks, especially if you have not traveled since the start of the shutdown or the whole issue over there with UK leaving the EU and all that business. I'm not getting into the politics of that now, folks. Don't think I am. You want to make sure you got your butt covered before you go on a trip. So just check it out carefully. All right. That's it for the news for today. I wonder if I still have a signal left. And I wonder if, in fact, I got anybody in the chat room. So let's go check and see. Folks, I didn't know if my battery would last, number one. And this is the first time that I've live streamed the actual show today rather than doing clips and having John run it. John is standing by in the background just in case. As a matter of fact, in case you're thinking he's not, let me, there's John in the background. He's up there in Nanook of the North, Minnesota. He's been in the background in case my battery died, which is possible, or we've got funky Wi-Fi signals. And apparently I haven't had neither. So let's go see who's in the chat room with us today. Kenneth's here. Hey, Kenneth. Carol's with us. Good morning, Chillie and all. Hope you are far enough south for warmer weather. It's a little warmer, but it's puny weather. It's really a yucky day. It's the rain is lightened up a little bit again, but it's still dreary. And I've got a feeling since I'm going to be back in Ocho Rios a week from now on the Divina, I'm not even going to try going ashore this afternoon. That's dead. I got plenty of work to do here and try to keep John from getting in trouble, I'm sure. Of course, we probably have to see about bailing the hot air Tom out because I'm sure by now he's gotten in trouble wherever he is. So Cindy's with us. Hi, Cindy. Nikki's there. She says good morning to everybody. There's Elizabeth. She's still up there in jail in Port Canaveral. 59 degrees up there in COVID jail. Wow. Could they warm it up a little for you? I mean, you know, you're used to that hot air and hot weather from down there in Cozumel. I'll be there day after tomorrow.
Your cousin Mel?
Yes.
You're going to see your cousin Mel?
No, I'm going to Cozumel, Mexico.
Oh, I thought you were going to see your cousin Mel.
After I do the show, I'm going to jump on my little scooter, which is sitting right over here in the background. See, my little scooter. This is sitting right there. There's I'm just manhandling the camera. See my little scooter sitting right there. I'm going to jump on my scooter, and I'm going to the No Name Bar, even though Elizabeth on location is no longer there. So I'm going to go visit the folks at the No Name Bar as soon as I get done with the show. That's the plan. Are you going out in Ocho? No, I'm not going. Probably not, Elizabeth, just because of the weather. You know, it's just crappy. And no, I'll save that and go maybe next week. Although the advisories now are saying, you know, you only want to go on excursions that keep you in the bubble. You can't take any food or beverage off the boats. You got to be very careful. Of course, they've got their own protocols here. But anyway, they don't want you to do a lot of the freedom stuff that we've done in the past. So I'll play that back. We'll see how things are next week. But yeah, today, but just because of the weather, I'm not going to get out this kind of crap. So sorry you're having bad weather. I don't cruise in January anymore because the 3 times I did not have good weather and rocky. Yeah, Cindy, it's been pretty rocky, but I'll look at it this way. I don't care. I'm on a boat. If I don't go ashore, who cares? I got all kinds of food. I got all kinds of booze. And this is a bonus, folks. They have my private label brand of bourbon that I drink and nobody in the world ever heard of until I started talking about it. They have Elijah Craig on this boat, and I've sampled a little of that now. I'm trying to find it at every bar and make sure that it's good Elijah Craig. I just got to, make sure that I sample from every bar on the boat. That's what I'm saying, at least. So, sex bombed again. I told you Hot Air Tom was going to get in trouble. We get sex bombed again by Biba. That looks like another one of those lovely Croatian people. Was that Croatian or Greek, John?
That would be a Russian. That was a Russian.
A Russian? That was a Russian sex bomber. What does Hot Air Tom have to do with Russia? Do we know that?
He's got friends everywhere. You just, he's like James Bond. He's 0000. Okay.
All right. So we're still sticking with we're blaming the sex bombers on Hot Air Tom. That is correct, is it not? Okay. Just wanted to make sure that we haven't changed plans. Gretchen's with us. Hi, Gretchen. How's things up here in Ohio? Kenneth, were you booked on the Love Boat cruise in February, or was that somebody else in the group? Yeah, it was Kenneth, I'm pretty sure. Sharon's with us. According to Don, many passengers on the Crystal would cruise trying to switch to a Regent ship. Could be Regent honoring their already paid fare. It's speculation.
The World Cruise.
Well, yeah, it started off being a world cruise, and then it got cut down, and then now they've taken off on it. I'm not sure about switching to Regent. I mean, Regent doesn't have anything to do with Genting. I have a feeling that's just speculation, Sharon. I'm guessing. I don't know. I have not, in my sources, I have not come up with anything on that. As a matter of fact, all the rumors and crap that I've been hearing out there are just absolute rumors that there is no indication of what's actually going to happen with Crystal and all of its subsidiaries, subsidiaries of Genting Hong Kong. So, Gretchen wants to know, where's the cat? Where's Ace?
I'm in a different studio. You don't see that I'm in a different place?
Oh, you're not. Yeah, you're in a different place.
Yeah, I'm not in the main video studio. I'm in the Studio B here in my house.
Oh, okay. So you don't let Ace in Studio B?
Well, no, there's two cats that reside here in the house.
Ah.
And never the
they
twain.
have nothing to do with you.
Never the twain shall. Well, yeah, they're the cat. They've been through once in a while, but they haven't been today. I don't see them anywhere. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lucy so Ace I see the dog.
Lucy is down there.
Lucy is guarding against attack from the cats.
Yes. We had coyotes through last night. We had a band of coyotes that came through about 1 a.m.
Did you feed them?
No, well, they might have got some of my Hungarian partridge, unfortunately.
Okay.
We have wild Hungarians here. We have had traditionally over 100 years, and we have them.
Were the partridges in a pear tree?
Well, no, these would be a little different but it's like that. A partridge is kind of a heavy set bird with a little head sticking out one end and a very small tail. And they would be relatives of the pear tree partridges, but these are Hungarian partridges. They eat a lot of paprika. Ah,
okay. So, and coyotes like to eat pear tree partridges.
Right now, they come into yards and they'll, like if you have a dog dish outside, they'll clean up anything and everything. It's they're hungry now because we're halfway through winter and it's been a hard winter.
Yeah, well, it's there. 19 feet of snow on the ground. Is that correct?
No, not quite, but there's a lot of 10-foot snow drifts. So
yeah, no, thank you. I struggled with the weather in Florida and getting on cruise ships. Are you kidding me?
Well, we know that because we know that your mind is affected because you got to go back and listen to how you started the show. You started the show on July 30th today.
What?
When you started the show, you said hello and welcome to July 30th.
No.
Yes.
Did I do that?
Folks, in the comments,
Oh, well.
tell me, back me up here, but you can go back and listen.
So, well,
didn't you see me go like this?
that was the vegetable level this morning, making sure my vegetable levels are where they're supposed to be.
I said, well, that's what he's dreaming that it is because, at least then it would be a nice temperature. So that was so funny. Yeah. You can reuse this show.
Actually, it's not July. It's January 31st.
You can reuse the show again in like 5 months.
Nothing to do with July. I'm not even booked on a cruise in July, I don't think.
You're not booked yet on a cruise in July.
Yeah, I'll go someplace.
Yeah.
I'll go someplace if I have to go down on the James River and jump on a damn kayak and kayak the James River. I'll be doing something in July. I can guarantee it. Sharon's with us. The Grand Classica is empty. 80 people on board. Oh my God, 80 people. 6 bars. Can't believe I'm saying this, but the food better than my Royal cruise last week. One lady said the prime rib the best she's had in her life on the Grand Classica. How about that? You switched over now. You're on the future Margaritaville paradise. That's a 2-day cruise. The Grand Classica out of West Palm Beach goes over to Freeport and comes back. They do have some programs where you can sail it over to Freeport, stay in Freeport, and then get the boat back to West Palm Beach. We've talked to the CEO before on this show of Grand Classica. I haven't talked to them since they have, in fact, have made the deal with Jimmy Buffett. So we'll have to see how that works out. Elizabeth says that you just mentioned no name as I wrote that. Yes. We see great minds traveling the same path. Elizabeth, you should know that. Emily's with us. She says hello to everybody. Love Chillie's pics. Yeah, I've been posting some pics and trying to spread them out to a few places here and there. MSC is going to be your new favorite due to Elijah Craig. Obviously, I can overlook a whole lot of things that would be bad about a boat. No, I can't. I never find anything bad about a boat. I mean, even the accessibility issues that I find with cruise ships, and that's pretty consistent in the industry. It's not just this one or the last one I was on. It's something that we have to work on getting better for folks that are like me or worse. But no, I'm never going to be that critical when I'm on a boat because I'm happy. I don't necessarily expect that every meal has to be the best in the world, although it seems like pretty much they are anymore. But it's nice when you got I've never been on a boat with Elijah Craig before. That's pretty sweet. So yeah, that's going to help me. That's going to keep MSC way up on the top of the list, but that's not the only reason. That's been the best bargains I've found in cruising in a long time. And it's well worth it, people. Don't get me wrong. Not just because it's a bargain cruise. This so far on this ship has been awesome. Everything about it. So, and I'm not paying a whole lot of money for it. And by the way, I did check this morning. We're like 30% of capacity.
30%.
That sucks. That's awful.
Wow.
So here we are.
Now, the only thing I wonder about the 30%, okay, if we're only at 30% capacity, They should have moved me out of my inside little teeny tiny cabin and put me in a damn suite or something. So, they could have switched me over just because there's nobody else in the cabin. I don't know. I did request, that might be the reason that I requested a wheelchair accessible and all that business. But anyway, we'll see. But other than that, folks, don't worry about going on an MSC cruise. I can tell you that right now. Emily says, John, love your video on the way to both the farms. I enjoyed that. Seeing a real snowmobile.
Thank you.
Yeah, I did watch that too. He's doing that voluntarily, folks. I mean, he lives up there in that damn. He could move to Florida or
saying that I live here voluntarily is sort of like saying Princess Diana lived in the castle because she wanted to. Come on. If I had my druthers, I would live somewhere else. But it's not voluntary. I mean, this is my station in life. So.
Yeah, well, I understand.
Good.
Except maybe you need to buy a big heater to warm that damn state up permanently. So, Kenneth says, yeah, we're going on that cruise, but unfortunately they ended up canceling. The people from the Love Boat rescheduling on the Discovery Princess in October of 22. Oh, that's what happened. All the remaining stars from the Love Boat are not going to be on it. That's too bad. Sharon says, watch Cruising with Dawn. I occasionally will catch Dawn, but I don't. Dawn's pulled some things that I disagree with. So, and I know Dawn and Tony they're big buddies. I find Tony, even though I don't like the way he clickbaits a lot, I find him to be a little more accurate in his reporting, in that he will, in fact, confirm a story before he goes with it. Dawn just blasts it out, and maybe or maybe not, it's from a source. So I don't follow him regularly. I do sometimes, sure. I gotta keep up with the competition, but
there's no competition.
Passengers were going aboard Regent and Aruba. Then the Crystal ship denied access to the Aruba port. Now heading to the Bahamas. Yeah, I didn't know they were going to board the Regent. That part is new to me. That was never part of the official plan that was released to the media. And that's come from several sources, including the court and Genting and Crystal. So yeah, I was not aware of the Regent involvement, and I'm wondering how that was going to get paid for, because that's one of the issues in dealing with all of the things that have to do with Crystal is the monetary issues. So that would be interesting. So Emily says they only got 6 inches. That's too much for me. Kenneth says the direction we are going on that cruise in October for the Love Boat, we are going to keep the cruise that we just booked for the end of this month because we're going to be on that side of the world. Yeah, well, I don't blame you. I would probably have a tendency to do the same thing, Kenneth. I mean, I don't necessarily book because of a theme cruise or something like that. That's not my style. Although, like, I'm doing the Vloggers cruise next January, a year from now. But, if they would call back and say the Vloggers cruise is off, I wouldn't cancel out the cruise. I'd still go on the cruise. But that's just me. So, Uh-oh, there's Hot Air Tom. Hi, Chillie's Cruises and everyone. I got mixed up and thought I missed the show. Oops, we have a 1 hour time difference. 1 hour. Have I been on that long? Where's my clock? Oh, no, I've only been on like 35 minutes. Sharon says, I was on a Renaissance ship weeks before they went bankrupt. The people still on the ship experienced something similar. It's sad. Oh, there's no doubt about it. Dude, I feel so sorry for the people on board Crystal and all the other subsidiary outfits that Genting was involved with. But yeah, I'm still. I would worry about Regent. I could understand them wanting to bail the passengers out, but on the same token, they need to be paid for that too, because they're taking on expenses. So, something to consider.
Oh, and while Chillie is pausing, we will say that your comments today are interesting. Carol, you say Don always seems to fly first class. You say that like, is that a problem? Somebody's got to sit in the front of the plane and hold the nose down, or the plane could never land.
Especially when you put big fat guys like you. Excuse me, I shouldn't say that.
Yes. You wanted to finish your statement there?
John does a good job of holding the nose of the plane down.
It's my job.
So as would I, if I was in first class. Although I usually don't sit first class. I generally sit right at the first seats of normal people seats.
See,
remember, I'm cheap.
If you're saying you're normal, it means I'm abnormal, and that's not very nice.
Maybe I should move on. Yes. Sharon says, Elizabeth's so cool. Don is one of my favorites, along with Chillie. Just love his candor. I'm good, Sharon. I'm glad somebody does. I just don't necessarily agree with that. Hot Air Tom says, I tested myself last night, still negative. Celebrity refunded my excursions. I went down to the meeting site and told them I was not going due to excessive coughing. Amy's here. I'm late, but I finally got here. By the way, folks, I did check with guest services on board the Seashore to see if I could get my pre-cruise test for Divina, since it's the same company, done here, or use the one I brought from home. You know, I brought enough to cover my butt so that I would have the second and third cruise test available. I had to use the first one because Royal would not test me on board to do pre-cruise for MSC. Okay, I understand that. So I had no problem with setting up in my room. It's kind of funky to do it by yourself, holding the cameras and all the things you have to do to keep the proctor happy. But MSC, interestingly enough, said, oh, yeah, that's no problem. You'll get a message from us sometime in the middle of the cruise. And all you have to do is call and set up the appointment and come down. Now, they do charge you for that. I said, okay, so what do they charge? Well, it'll be $25. Well, the test, the Abbott test, cost $35. So not only am I saving a test, but it's saving, $10 because I'll have the $35 test to use at another time. So $25, do it. and I'll have my proof to get on the Vina on Sunday. So Kenneth says, I'm jealous of Chillie doing 3 cruises. I got to catch up. I counted this morning after I took the 2 off my list when I added the one yesterday. I'm now to 15 booked because I had to remove, of course, this one, and I had to remove Freedom of the Seas, was my first 2 back. So now I'm down to 15 booked ahead. Now I've got several things in mind, but we'll see how that works. Hot Air Tom says Park West did pay for the premium drink package upgrade, so we can get free espresso and hot chocolate at one cafe. Love the hot cocoa made with milk. Hot Air Tom, maybe we need to explain to you what premium drink packages are designed for. It's not hot chocolate. I know. Tom and Cindy don't drink like I do. So, but I'm glad that they can get the hot cocoa. Is that premium cocoa? So. A friend on the Bliss said the current cruise had 500 cancellations in the week prior to the cruise. Wow, that's pretty. I'm not surprised at this. I mean, everybody is in a panic over Omicron, and more we're getting into this. Yes, it's extraordinarily. I mean, it's bad as far as the spread of it, but it's really mild, especially if you're vaccinated and boosted, so that it's just not near as bad as would thought. The numbers are coming down rapidly, pretty much like I had projected they would. So things are definitely looking up. Doesn't mean we're out of the woods with Omicron yet, because it is, it spreads so rapidly, especially for those that aren't vaccinated. Those people are what's burying the hospitals. Because it's not as severe, people are not passing away like they did this time last year. When somebody got COVID and died, that opened up a bed for somebody else to move into. It's not as severe this time. People aren't dying, but they're still tying up the beds. And there's more people trying to get in because so that's why the hospitals are just jammed. That's going to pass too as these numbers continue falling. It's following just exactly like we had hoped it would. Not out of the woods yet, but in another week or two, we're going to start getting a lot closer back to normal. So, all right. 28 days until Cindy's next cruise. The anticipation is killing her. Sorry about that. Went to Margaritaville briefing last night. They offered us a discount and told us Jimmy Buffett will be on the first sailing. Oh, boy, would that be fun.
Emily says MSC is costly. I don't know where you're getting those prices from, Emily. They seem to be the cheapest one out there right now, and there's no single supplement.
Yeah, Emily's, to me, MSC is the best deals that I've seen on any of the cruise lines, especially for solos. The inaugural cruise of the Seascape, I'm paying a little bit extra for it. But I am on that one, I'm paying 50% add-on supplement. And because it's an inaugural cruise, the rates are a little higher. But I still wouldn't get it to, okay, folks, I'm doing 8 days, an 8-day balcony with all the fixings and all the extras and all the double bonus points and the drink package and the Wi-Fi package and the gratuities and all that business for 8 days for, I think it's $1,018 or something like that. What the hell? For solo, So, no.
Seems pretty good to
I'm
me.
telling you, MSCs, they're definitely in this business to get you to try them. So,
Yep.
all right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. My throat is starting to give out on me because I've been running my mouth a lot. So, anyway, I'm going to call it a day. I will be back tomorrow on a sea day from the MSC Seashore, and I'm sure I will find some news somewhere to report. For now, John, thanks for being with me and being my backup. All you guys, thanks for joining along. As always, folks, stay safe, stay healthy, wear your mask, don't do anything stupid. Think about cruising. And hopefully one of these days we'll all meet on the high seas. This is the old fat travel guy. You guys have a fabulous day. I'll see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock. I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up, I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.